भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते गौरचंद्राय। So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, Text 34, chapter entitled Brahma Stealing the Boys and Calves. Can you repeat after me? Tatah pravayaso gopas tokashlesha sunirvrataha krichra chanair apagatas tadanusmrityudashrabaha. Tatha pravayaso gopas tokashlesha sunirvrataha krichra chanair apagata tadanusmrityudashrabaha. Tatah pravayaso gopas tokashlesha sunirvrataha krichra chanair apagata tadanusmrityudashrabaha. Very much. Word by word synonyms, translation, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness and the most preeminent Shiksha Guru for us all. Srila Prabhupada ki. Can you repeat after me the word by word synonyms? Tataha, thereafter. Pravayasaha, elderly. Gopaha, cowherd men. Tokashlesha sunirvrataha, became overjoyed by embracing their sons. Krichrat, with difficulty. Shanaihi, gradually. Apagataha, ceased from that embracing and returned to the forest. Tatanusmriti udashravaha, as they remembered their sons, tears began to roll down from their eyes. Can you repeat after me the translation? Thereafter, the elderly cowherd men, having obtained great feeling from embracing their sons, gradually and with great difficulty and reluctance, ceased embracing them and returned to the forest. But as the men remembered their sons, tears began to roll down from their eyes. Kindly listen intently to these ecstatic purports by His Divine Grace. In the beginning, the cowherd men were angry that the cows were being attracted by the calves. But when the men came down from the hill, they themselves were attracted by their sons, and therefore the men embraced them. To embrace one's son and smell his head are symptoms of affection. Om ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave namaha. Sri Chaitanya manobhishtam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kada mahyam dadati swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for this opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and some wonderful pastimes of the Supreme Lord. I seek the blessings of my revered mentors, many of whom are present in this august assembly in Sri Sri Krishna Balram's Prangana, that I may present everything as per the Acharyas, as per their purports, as per Srila Prabhupada's vision, and in order that I could please you and purify myself. Thank you very much for this opportunity again. So this chapter, which is entitled Brahma Stealing the Boys and Calves, focuses on a picnic between Krishna and his friends amongst them, and how Brahma steals the calves. He gets bewildered. All the Vrajavasis also get bewildered. Even Lord Balaram gets bewildered. And finally, Krishna reveals his causeless mercy upon Brahma for trying to be impudent in one sense. Often in the material world, if someone tries to be very impudent with a superior, the result is not so compassionate. Many of us have faced it right from childhood. But it just shows Krishna how compassionate a master he is. So I seek to dwell on a few core issues in today's lecture. Krishna, whose amshamsha or portion of portion himself causes bewilderment. Lord Vishnu himself is able to bewilder everyone with his Maya. Now in Srimad Bhagavatam there is a mention of how Mahavishnu, and in Krishna book especially, Mahavishnu ensures that Krishna and Arjuna come to see him. And in other words, he wants to see his own source. Even Mahavishnu himself is bewildered by the glorious opulence of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So Krishna is most definitely opulent, but more than that, sweet. There is a certain sweetness even in his opulence, which is why we say Chintamani prakara sadmashu kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhi rabi balayantam. Even in his even the most illuminating, ever sweet Goloka Vrindavana, there is Aishwarya. When there is touchstones, and Prabhupada uses, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj uses the word, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada uses the word lapsis lazuli. Prabhupada also uses that. They are cast on all the paths in Goloka. But Acharyas say that this opulence of the Supreme Lord is hidden by his sweetness. It's more important that Krishna's sweetness manifests himself. Prabhupada himself mentions that he gives the example of how the Prime Minister Gladstone, formerly of Britain, was not willing to meet someone for an hour, and when he came in and peeped in, he found that Lord Gladstone was playing horse for his grandchildren. And so that's what kept him busy. So the Prime Minister may be very, very important person for the rest of them. For his own family, he has a certain element of sweetness that is attached to them. And that's the sort of dealings he would like to engage in with them. Quite similarly, the Supreme Lord and his dealings with his Nija Parshadas, his own eternal associates, is eminently sweet. However, when Shukadeva Goswami describes about this pastime to Parikshit Maharaj, he calls him Bhagavatottama, meaning the greatest among devotees. There is Bhagavata, Bhagavatottara and Bhagavatottama. Superlative. Prabhupada uses this word. Positive, comparative and superlative. He says Bhagavatottama. Uttama, of course, means that one that is beyond darkness, something that is most elevated. So Parikshit Maharaj is Bhagavatottama. And why is he Bhagavatottama? He is Bhagavatottama because his attachment to the pastimes of the Supreme Lord is ever increasing. Yadavadi mama cheda Krishna padara vindyo navanavara sada manyudate rantum asit tadavada bada nari sangame smaryamane bhavatu mukha vikaram sushtu nishtivanam cha. Sripad Yamunacharya mentions this verse as to how, by constantly being immersed in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, navanavara sadam, every now and then there is a constant renewal of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So because one is so engaged or sort of, let's just say, immersed in them, they are immersed in the pastimes, all the Vrajavasis also of the Supreme Lord. So they're all Bhagavatottamas because they're immersed. In fact, the Sri Vaishnava terminology for one who is immersed is Alvar. That's why Prabhupada recognizes them as the supermost devotees. Alvar means one who is completely immersed in. So Bhagavatottama is Parikshit Maharaj, and he wants to hear about these pastimes, and his eagerness, his yearning to hear these pastimes is ever increasing. So even for us sadhakas, there is a very crucial learning from this. Ayur harati vaipumsam udyanastannayanastu tasyartha yakshananita uttamak shloka vartaya. By the rising and setting, the sun erodes the lifespan of everyone, except those who are constantly immersed in hearing the pastimes of Uttama Shloka, that is Krishna. Therefore, the more we hear about these pastimes, the more we get purified. And Visheshena Mohana, that is Vimohana, is a very special kind of bewilderment that Brahma went through. We see elsewhere also, I guess in the 8th canto, when Lord Shiva gets bewildered by the Supreme Lord in his form of his Mohini Murti. I mean, he took the risk of asking for Mohini Murti's darshana and, as they say, promptly paid for it by being bewildered. But at the end of it, he is glorifying his glorious master. Right? He's so pleased that if you have to lose at all, you have to lose to the topmost, the greatest. So bewilderment by the Supreme Lord of these personalities doesn't denigrate them in any way, doesn't make them any lesser in any way. In fact, they're glorified even further because it's not everyone that Krishna chooses for special treatment. So often, yesterday also the example was given, I think, when the mother-in-law wants to instruct the newlywed daughter-in-law or the daughter-in-law, she instructs through the daughter. So even instructive pastimes in the Bhagavatam are indicated through the agency of some really elevated personalities. Let's just say who can take the bewilderment, who can handle the special treatment by Krishna. It's not very easy. When Prahlad Maharaj prays to Narasimhadev that Yadidasya se me kaman varamstvam varadarshapa kamanam hridya samruham bhavadastu vrinevaram. Oh my Lord Narasimhadev, if at all you want to bestow any benediction on me, please take away the lust from within my heart, the material desires from my heart. And not everyone can have the courage to pray to Narasimhadev to take away something, because it can be sometimes a little bit more different from what we bargained for. But Brahma, being our Sampradaya Acharya, is no ordinary personality. And he, after seeing Aghasura being delivered by the Supreme Lord, wanted to test further his opulence. That is what Acharyas say. There are many versions which state that Brahma was being impudent and Brahma was saying, is he God or not? But there are other versions by Acharyas which also mention that Brahma really wanted to understand more of Krishna's Leelas. And as Krishna and his cowherd boy friends were honoring the wonderful picnic together, with Krishna being the whirl of the lotus and all the Gopasakhas being petals on the lotus, they were all looking at Krishna taking food from his hands, and Krishna himself was taking from their plates, and he was holding a piece of yogurt rice, and Acharya say maybe even with some pickle on his left hand, so to say. And all of a sudden Brahma decides that he would steal these calves and his dear cowherd boys. But Acharyas also say, as Krishna was sitting enjoying his picnic with these cowherd boys, Krishna's Leela Shakti and Swarupa Shakti, they told, my dear Lord, we would like to serve you by enacting a pastime. Should we get Brahma to do this? This is the version given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who generally looks at things completely out of the box. So this is how it went. And so Brahma tried to steal the calves, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said there were 3 sets of calves and cowherd boys. One, the ones that were stolen by Brahma. Now how could Brahma have stolen these cowherd boys and calves, many of whom are Nitya Siddha Parikaras, they are eternal associates of the Supreme Lord? How is that possible? So Acharyas say that this was not the same set of calves and cowherd boys. They were all along there enjoying their picnic, and Krishna was going out searching for the calves. Nimeshardakyo ava vrajati nahi yatrapi samayaha, Brahma Samhita says. Every moment it lasts eternally. So many of them being eternal associates of the Supreme Lord, all of them, they were still there enjoying the picnic. And if the Rasa Leela or the Rasa dance could expand into a night of Brahma within just like that, and the whole of Vraja expands to involve millions of gopis, then what is it? It's not difficult at all for Krishna to have this kind of a pastime enacted. So they were all there. They were there all the time. And then Brahma, by his own potency, he assumed that he could bewilder the Lord. Now the fact is that he could never have been able to bewilder these people and take away Krishna's own associates. So Acharyas say these could be some other set of cowherd boys and calves which were deluded, so to say, or by his own understanding, Brahma's own understanding, they were under Mahamaya. But then Mahamaya is also the potency of Krishna. So in one sense it is all Krishna's Maya. And of course Krishna himself expanded into all these Gopasakhas and the calves. So the 3 sets of cowherd boys and calves. So it's nothing short of bewilderment. That is why it's Visheshana, Vishesha Vimohana, Vishesha Mohana. And Krishna is Madana Mohana. So it's easy for him to bewilder anyone. Brahma himself is overcome in one sense by Madana. That was discussed at the dawn of creation once it happened. That is again an instructive pastime. When that Mohana could himself be bewildered by Madana Mohana, this is not surprising at all that this happened. And after this whole pastime, Brahma, of course, got bewildered. He had no idea how these cowherd boys arrived there, along with Krishna, still looking for the calves. And Krishna bestowed special mercy on Brahma by expanding himself in innumerable 400 Vishnu forms. So, when you say Vishnur Mahan Saiha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, it's just a kala, it's just an expansion, a plenary portion, or a portion of a portion. Amsha is sometimes used. If you just see the division, when there is Krishna, there is Baladeva, then there is the first Chaturvyuha, then there is Narayana, there is the second Chaturvyuha, then there is the Purushavatas. Where does Brahma come? The Gunavataras, where do they come? And where do the Purushavatas themselves come? They're so effectively, as they say, low down in the hierarchy, if you want to use that, although there is no such thing. Because Brahma Samhita says, Deepar chire bahidashantaram abhyupetya deepayate vibrata yedu samana dharma yastadrige bahidya vishnuta yavibadim govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The first candle lights, the second candle which lights, the third candle, so on and so forth. But the first candle is and will remain the first candle. Sarva karana karanam. So it's like, as they say, literally child's play. Krishna was anyway in the form of a child, so to say, Pauganda, from Kaumara to Pauganda. And for 1 year, he played the role, so to say. He is Natavara. Bhagavatam also says, Acharyas also say, he is the greatest actor. It's not difficult for him to play any role. He played the role of the cowherd boys and the calves, not just in terms of appearance. He could perfectly imitate the personality, their habits, their thoughts also. Which is not difficult. Swam Shena Sarvat Anubrad Manasi Pratita Pratyagdashe Bhagavate Brihate Namaste. Gajendra prays. He is present in everyone's heart. He is expanded into everyone's heart. It's easy for him to understand. So that is the power of Krishna's bewilderment. And till now it's fine, but he went one step ahead and he bewildered Lord Balaram as well. It's mentioned that Balaram was getting into preparation for his birthday. So he was not there on this day when it happened. And 1 year from then, also it was the same day. Effectively, he was not there. But then he started thinking, Acharyas say. Of course, first the Vrajavasis got bewildered. Because everyone thought it was Krishna. It was their own child. They didn't realize it was Krishna. And they developed immense affection for their own children. Because they always loved Krishna. The beauty of affection is that, of course, there is a verb form of it called it affects you. It's affection. It affects you. There is an effect on you. What happened was that normally in the material world, they say the mother's love is the topmost. The love of the mother for the offspring is the topmost. But there is a catch. Mothers definitely love their children, but they don't love everyone's children the way they love their own children. And it is not possible. But they don't know everyone's children. But in terms of the Vrajavasis' affection, they loved Krishna so much, and everyone had a certain aspiration to engage in an exchange, loving exchange with Krishna. So those who wanted to exchange Vatsalya Rasa, they got this opportunity. And of course, there are other indications where Gargacharya got the younger gopis married to Krishna. There are some versions given by Acharyas. And the cows also, they started showering affection and milk more on their calves. And mind you, these are the calves which were beyond suckling stage. There were far younger calves that the cows had. But the cows themselves preferred these same calves who had stopped possibly partaking of the milk from their mothers, because they were already out grazing. So this is the amazing affection that affected the cows as well. And that's the context we are in. And then thereafter, while pasturing atop Govardhana hill, Govardhana, enhancing the pleasure of the cows also, as Govinda does. And it enhances the pleasure of our senses also in connection with Krishna. It says, the cows looked down to find some green grass and saw their calves pasturing near Vrindavana. not very far away. And when they saw them, they forgot themselves and the caretakers because of increased affection. Again, that word affection. In Krishna consciousness, we have to be constantly conscious of being affectionate with those around us without getting attached. So that affection is what is being shown here. Of course, attachment to Krishna is fine. Like an Acharya prays, Mat samo nasti papatma naparati jakashana parihara bilajjesmin kimbruvi purushottama yuvatinam yatha yunim yunam cha yuvatav yata manobiramate tadvan manomiramatam tvai. There's no one more fallen than me, my dear Lord. When I come before you, I feel like bowing my head down in shame. Why? Therefore, please make me develop as much attachment for your lotus feet as a young man has for a young woman and vice versa. And Acharya has mentioned that Paramahamsas like Parikshit and others who are constantly hearing these sort of pastimes, like Brahma Vimana Leela and all of the pastimes, for them they are so much bathed in the Nava rasas of Krishna that the so-called topmost pleasure of the material world, so-called Adi Rasa, originally it is Adi Rasa, but so-called Maithuna Rasa, it just pales into insignificance compared to the pleasure that they're deriving from hearing Krishna's pastimes. Because he's Sarva Akarshaka, Karshati iti Krishna, he is all attractive. Because he's all attractive, it's possible for him to attract the calves themselves, the cows, the gopas and the gopis. And we're talking about the gopas. Their milk bags being full and flowing with milk, the cows, their heads and tails raised and their humps moving with their necks. They ran forcefully until they reached their calves to feed them. And it's mentioned that the gopas, they had mixed feelings. They had a little bit of anger because what are these people doing? Why are they running away? They're trying to herd them and they couldn't herd them. Acharyas also say, there is a beautiful prayer that may the calf of my mind be willing to be herded by your lotus feet. So you see in Krishna's lotus feet, there are many chinnas on his lotus feet. One of them is a goad, which is used to herd elephants, angusha. So we have to pray to Krishna that our lower modes, not our lower modes, end of the day it is all Krishna's energy. We may not be captured with the lower modes. So Krishna could goad us, could herd us. We are his cattle or calves. Gopala, let him herd us so that our mind constantly meditates on his pastimes, his lotus feet. That's a prayer. Yuvatinam yatha yunim yunam che yuvatav yatha. And so here it's mentioned that because of increased affection for the older calves, it allowed the older calves to drink milk from their milk bags and then began licking the calves' bodies in anxiety as if wanting to swallow them. I've heard some friends telling me when they see sometimes the Vijaya Vigraha of say Radha Shamsundar or Radha Pathasarthi, sometimes as they say, for want of a better word, they're so cute, and then you feel like eating them. That's what they say. So this is what he's saying. You feel like eating them. Of course, in many ways we say that we do eat Krishna every day. We say non-different, Krishna is non-different from his prasadam. So, but I don't think we would venture into eating the Archa Vigraha because Pancharatrika Vidya and Bhagavad Vidya should not be mixed up. So, in North India there is a habit when you offer obeisances, they also kiss. Have you noticed that? They do this. They do this. I still haven't found out why they do it, but I guess affection. But here is that. Swallowing them, licking them, swallowing them. The cows wanting to do it is fine. So that's what they want to do with the calves. So it's mentioned here, the cowherd boys, because they couldn't check the cows, they got angry. And then, with great difficulty, they came down the rough path of Govardhana. Of course, in many ways, if you want to get close to Krishna, the path is strewn with a lot of difficulty. And they did. They found out. They came to Krishna, who was in the form of his of the cowherd boys and the calves. And they went through all. They took the tough path. And they came. And when they came, their affection for their own sons increased naturally. And these are not like really baby kind of, infant kind of boys. They're reasonably grown up. They're 5 and 6. Kaumara and Pauganda. They started herding cattle and calves. Primarily calves, because this is Goshtashtamī. We celebrate for Goshtas. Before the Gopashtami starts. He's herding the calves. Yet, there's tremendous affection for their sons. They lifted them in their hands and they smelled their heads. This is a form of affection, part of Vatsalya Rasa, an exchange in Vatsalya. And Acharyas talk about how there are 8, in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami also mentions, there are 8 personalities who had very special Vatsalya Rasa for Krishna. Of course, Yashoda Maya, who's the epitome of Vatsalya Rasa. And Prabhupada mentions that she could become mother of Krishna because she was willing to purchase anxiety for Krishna. So that's the price to pay, to purchase anxiety. And how do we purchase anxiety? Kartika is very dear to Mother Kartiki. And also to Krishna. It's Kartiki, Mother Kartiki, Srimati Radharani. This month is very dear to Krishna. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Masana Marga Shirshoham, which is the coming month. And the gopis observed Katyayana Vrata to get Krishna as their Lord. And we engage in Srila Prabhupada's marathon, distribute books, which is our Katyayana Vrata. Prabhupada, it's quoted, I haven't found the exact quote, that you keep distributing books all your life and one day you find out that the hand that takes the book is blue. So this is our Katyayana Vrata coming up. We get in all the energies of Kartik, more chanting, reading, hearing, association in Dham. And we take that energy and do this austerity of getting Krishna through book distribution, through Sankirtana. So that's the process that's coming up. So that way we can purchase anxiety for Krishna. Ask any book distributor how tough it is to get one book out. Maybe it's easy for them. I probably find it tough because I'm not a book distributor. So Yashoda, Yasha of course means fame. She granted fame to Devaki to be mother also. So some people say there's one name for Devaki is also Yashoda, and some people say even vice versa. So Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Nanda Maharaj, both of them were in Vatsalya Rasa. Devaki, Vasudeva, they were also in Vatsalya Rasa. Because they were originally Prishni and Sutapa and Kashyapa and Aditi. Later on they became Devaki and Vasudeva. And Drona and Dhara in one Kalpa meditated on the Supreme Lord and performed austerities. So they became Yashoda and Nanda Baba. But of course they are eternally present as well. So these 4. Then Mother Rohini, she also is in Vatsalya Rasa. Then 15 wives of Vasudeva, they were also in Vatsalya Rasa. And then it is mentioned also about the elderly gopis, naturally, they were in Vatsalya Rasa. Elderly gopis are in Vatsalya Rasa. And who did I miss? Mother Kunti, Gopya Dadatvai Gradaga Siddhama Davasta Yate Dashashruka Lilanjana Sambramaksham Bhaktram Nini Abhaya Bhavanaya Stitasya Samam Vimohayati Bhiradbhibhyeti. That beautiful form of Damodar bewilders her. Why? Because fear personified is afraid of him and he is afraid of Mother Yashoda. The Upanishads talk about Bhishas Mahadvatav Pavate. Everyone is afraid. Bhishode di Suryaha Bhishas Mahadagnis Chandrascha Mrityurdhavati Panchama iti. All these people are scared. Fire, air, water, sun. Yasyajnaya Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro. Everyone is afraid. And that person is afraid of Mother Yashoda. So naturally Mother Kunti is bewildered. And yet she is in the mode of affection. And I think I covered everyone. Probably I missed someone. Oh yes. Who's the 9th one? Can anybody guess? These are all in parental form, but what is the other form of affection in Vatsalya Rasa? It's that of the preceptor or the teacher. So Sandipani Muni was also in Vatsalya Rasa. So these are the people who were in Vatsalya Rasa. And there's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu talks extensively about the exchange of rasa in Vatsalya. So, sorry? Vrishabhanu and Kirtita, Acharya has not mentioned, at least Rupa Goswami doesn't mention this. I'm sure you're right in that sense. We already mentioned elderly gopis, and we can add elderly gopis, elderly gopas, all of them. So Kirtita comes in elderly gopis, and I guess we can add Vrishabhanu Prabhu into that as well. So these are the wonderful people who have affection for Krishna in Vatsalya Rasa. And Brahma, out of his attempted bewilderment, ended up getting bewildered himself. Because not only did Krishna expand himself into cowherd boys and calves, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that he expanded himself into even the herding sticks, the flutes and everything. Extraordinary. And so Brahma got bewildered. With this, he saw this. His attempted bewilderment of Krishna ended up in his bewilderment. This is what it is. So first there is bewilderment of the Vrajavasis and the cows, so to say. Then there is bewilderment of Lord Balaram himself. After 1 year he starts thinking, and every layer of Yogamaya unravels gradually. He first starts questioning, what is this? There was so much affection. Then the second level of Maya, he starts thinking, Yogamaya, he thinks, is this Daivi Maya of the demigods? Is it Nari Maya of the sages? Is it Rakshasi Maya of the demons? No, it can't affect me because I am supreme. Then it has to be Yoga Maya. And then that level of Yoga Maya also unraveled. Then he understood, yes, this is Yoga Maya. But then who are they? And then another level of Yoga Maya curtain unraveled. And he said, oh, this is Krishna himself. And the calves and all the other entities expanded into Chaturbhuja forms. And their Acharya saying, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, they're telling Brahma, Aja. Aja means generally unborn. But Aja also means goat. So they're saying, how will you bewilder us? Look at us. Look at who we are. We are all one. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Everything. And immediately it expanded to multiple forms and it completely bewildered Brahma. He had no idea what to do. And of course, Acharyas say that he repented. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions in Navadvip Mahatmya that he repented for this impudent act. So he started performing austerities in Antardvipa, and the Supreme Lord Gauranga appeared before him. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu obviously is most merciful. And Brahma repented for his impudence and he begged forgiveness naturally and said that in your Gaura Leela, in your Kali Yuga Leela, I do not want to do the same impudence. I don't want to come the same mistake. I want to stay humble. Of course, Brahma himself talks about it in Srimad Bhagavatam, how he's praying constantly that I should not be affected by false ego. But here, one of the forms that became Haridas Thakur is Brahma. The Brahma Prahlad Maharaj and Brahma Pratapa. There are three forms. Ruchika Muni's son. So Brahma repented like that for his activity. And that's the beauty of demigods. It's not like they don't make mistakes. Even if they make mistakes, they repent sincerely. There is prayaschitta. Srila Bhaktivedanta Damodar Maharaj mentions in his book about spiritual master, about the spiritual master, he mentions that there should not be just repentance, there should be some restitution. There should be something very positive. And that is what Brahma did. He preached the glories of the holy name so much as Namacharya that there was restitution. So as sadhakas, it is important for us that we don't restrict ourselves to just saying, I'm sorry. Of course, it matters. It's a very important word, sorry, or I beg forgiveness. Even after performing our deity worship services, we beg forgiveness from the Supreme Lord. Angahinam kriyahinam vidhihinam chayadbhaved yastu tat sarvamachitam krishna karsha prasadadaha yatkinchit vaikundyam jadat taddosha prashamanaya Sri Krishna smaranam karomi. So prayaschitta is also remembering Krishna. So there has to be, it's positive. It is not just anartha nivritti. We are International Society for Krishna consciousness, not Aparad consciousness. So there should be some positive engagement. There should be Artha Pravritti, doing something for Krishna, like Haridas Thakur did. Brahmaji did as Haridas Thakur. Preach the glories of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, tells Amoga that with the same mouth that you spewed venom and poison, you have to partake of nectar. Therefore, glorify those whom you have offended. And that is what Brahma did. The same Krishna whom he has offended. And Acharyas say Krishna did not even speak because he made it seem very natural that I am still the child. I don't know how all this is happening. It's very matter of fact. He's still the same. He did not even look at, he did not speak. Brahma is saying all these things, repenting, etc. He's not speaking. Some other Acharyas also mentioned that Krishna was so upset with Brahmaji that he tried to separate his associates from him. So he did not even want to speak with him. Although Indra, when he had this whole impudence as well. But his impudence got the Brajavasis together with Krishna. So there is indication of Krishna speaking to Indra. But he did not even speak with Brahma. To summarize, Brahma himself, Visheshena Mohena. He got bewildered by his own bewilderment, his attempted bewilderment of the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord bewildered the Vrajavasis for their pleasure, Balaramji for his delight, and Brahmaji for his illumination. And when we read this, we can really deal with ahankara, false ego far better. We can also deal with the anartha of assuming that demigods, as the second offense to the holy name talks about, to consider the glories of the names of Vishnu to be equal to or independent, to glories of demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be equal to or independent of that of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So to overcome all these sort of offenses, studying this pastime will also help us. Although this is not a demon strictly in that sense, but Brahma's Vimohana is indicative for us sadhakas, and so this is a wonderful pastime for us to learn how to develop greater affection for the Supreme Lord. And I thank all of you again for patiently listening and blessing me with your presence. I throw open to the assembly of wonderful Vaishnavas for some comments as well as questions. His Holiness Bhakti Brigad Bhagavad Swami Maharaj, by whose blessings I could give a class today. Maharaj.
So wonderfully explained those three senses.
Servant.
It's like a Maya, voice and the original voice of Krishna's coming. Thank you very much for that. Now we see that Brahma's consciousness as an acharya is that he does not even get darshan of Shiva Vishnu and certainly when he goes and meditates on the other demigods.
Yes.
And then we see Brahma in a situation within Krishna Lila itself, where he directly sees Krishna was Shiva Krishna of Krishna. So Brahma has a different type of consciousness in his Lila, where he's bewildered by the simplicity of being. So he's an acharya in one sense, in another sense he's not.
Yes.
So can you just explain what the different consciousness of Brahma when it's an acharya is the Gaya explain to
Yes.
Krishna, the form of Krishna.
I'll attempt it for your pleasure and my purification. So,
Pleasure, that's great. Thank you very much.
servant. So, in the pastime of the slaying of Vritrasura, when the demigods go and pray to the Supreme Lord for protection, the Supreme Lord reciprocates, saying that you had all the opportunity to come to me for something more noble, but instead you have come to me for this, just for protecting yourself. And Vritrasura himself mentions that, look at you, You're going to kill me and go back to the heavenly planet, retain your kingdom. And I'm going to go back to the Lord. Ajada Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga Tanemeta Vatsataram Shudarta Priyam Priyeva Vishnam Vishana Manora Vindashi Didirkshate Tvam. He's constantly meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that's the consciousness that ought to be had for an Acharya. And here, Brahma has a clear aspiration to have an exchange with the Supreme Lord in terms of understanding His greater glories. Acharyas talk about how he wants to understand His glories. What more can he do? So there is a certain element of sweetness and a desire to enjoy Krishna's greater pastimes after he saw him slay Aghasura. That is there, that is present. Acharyas confirm that. He wants to know more. He wants to see more of his pastimes. Of course, there was a slight impudence in the form of attempting to test, so that got punished in this way. But in the pastime of how the demigods move across to the Milky Ocean and they stand outside there, they glorify him with the choice verses of the Purusha Suktam. And the Supreme Lord, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, speaks into the heart of Brahma and says that very soon I will appear. So the understanding is that because there again the purpose is same as the demigods praying for their own protection, which is not considered a very noble reason to approach the Supreme Lord. It is a good reason, all the same, because Srila Rupa Goswami quotes this shloka, and I was sharing this with my friend Rukmini Krishna Prabhu the other day, and Sriniket Prabhu, both my friends. Sevya Sripati Reva Eka Jagatam Etecha Shat Sakshinaha Prakladascha Vibhishanascha Karirat Panchalya Halya Dhruvaha. These 6 personalities are examples of the right person to approach for being saved is Krishna. That is true. But still, it is not considered a very, very noble means to approach the Lord as opposed to trying to have an exchange with Him in personal relationship and religious pastimes. So therefore, the distinction in consciousness. Servant. Yes, His Grace. High Griva Prabhu. I am worried when he takes the mic. Yeah. Aja. There's a dirgha on top of that. Yeah.
And one question is there. Just presented the parental love for Krishna. There is so many, like Tusada, Ravini, Vajrapati. So what about Mother Uttama? Lete Gati Dhati Uchitam Tatvavijnana. So Dhatri Gati says it.
Yeah. It also says Jigam Syapaya Adapya Sadhvi, Asadhvi. She is also Asadhvi. So there is mixed feelings. So therefore, as Ratnamala, she not only wanted to have Krishna as her son, but also kill him. So it is, when you say Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama, it is not Uttama Bhakti that she was performing. But what did Aghasura do? He did not even try to suckle him, he just tried to eat him. But Krishna gave him Sarupya Mukti just before this. So yes, we agree that Kamvadayalam Sharanam Vrajema, but she came with mixed emotions. And she wanted to feed him also. But there is an English poet who says that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So her so-called good intentions were to kill the child. So because there is mixed emotions and it is not Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam, we can clearly say that it's not in pure Vatsalya Rasa. All these people were purely in Vatsalya Rasa. I don't think even Sandipani Muni had, despite being a teacher, had any desire to punish Krishna in any manner. So that's the understanding we can have from Acharyas. So we'll conclude now. Maharaj. Yes, sorry.
Just to appreciate his nice query also.
Yes. 7, Maharaj.
I may have heard or read somewhere. I just have to get back to that reference. Krishna is the original Paramahamsa. So in Uttara, Krishna just took a good intention of feeding and none the other stuff to get it. So the Paramahamsa is a husband. I have a top fish, a swan. It knows how to extract from young, just next to the water. Just then. So Krishna is the original Thomas.
Thank you, Manas. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki